Ladies, happy Wednesday. Chic and Pat Powers here. Ladies, let me tell you something. You know why I've always came out these situations stronger, more wiser, more connected to myself as a woman? I elevated my intentions, my purpose, and passions that I always had that God blessed me with years ago when I was young, and now I'm older. I'm getting back to it. I'm not forgetting about it, and I'm executing it and bringing it all together. Is because I never played victim. That's how you win in life, ladies. Never go through these situations, even after abusive relationship, bad divorce, or any situation you go through. Never be a victim. That's when you lose your power. Don't cry and complain about choices that you know you made and chose to stay and deal with. This is why all my situations, I never cried and complained about what the other person did or forced me to do, because no one can force you to do nothing. No one can put you to do nothing. No one can force you to stay. I don't want to hear no excuses or nothing, because I never made excuses for myself. I've never played victim. I've always used my confidence and courage and adaptability and vulnerability and accountability skills to own my situations. That's what made me not a victim to any of these situations. That's why I'm smiling, because I'm grateful that I am who I am as a woman, because you'll never hear me crying about, oh, I dealt with him, he was this and that. What do you get out of doing that if you made the choice to stay? That's why when you start taking accountability for your messed up situations in your life, like myself, you get more freedom. You get more connected to God. You get more connected to the spaces in yourself that you need to get rid of. Your ego, your flesh, and control. That's why I'm not living in those spaces no more. I refuse to let my situations like jail, homelessness, and domestic violence let me walk around as a grown adult being a victim and a peasant to myself. No, that's why I'm so strong within myself and within my life, and I refuse to let anybody sway me away from what I know, what I want and need and don't want, and who I am as a person. These situations didn't take nothing from me. Even though it tried, it actually did, but it elevated so much more in me that I always needed as a woman for my life, my body, my mind, my spirit, and my womb, and it slowed me down to really execute living out of my ego, my flesh, and control. Now I have a new way of living just by not being a victim of my situations, just by taking accountability and rising up and being adaptable and taking ownership of what I chose to deal with, what I chose to stay around, and even in situations where I had no control, I didn't have a choice. I'm still not going to be a victim and let my life sit on the side and forget about everything that God put me here to do.